Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the United Hour. With me today, I have got Zahir and CJ. Gentlemen,
Yo,
you.
Well, we good? We all
Yeah,
good?
not bad, thanks. CJ, how
yo,
about
great. After today's results, I'm feeling great.
you? Yeah, I mean, let's see. I know obviously Arsenal just lost and Chelsea just lost as well too. So not a good day for London sides. Um,
Nope.
but then again, today we're not here to talk about other clubs or other teams
Exactly.
right now. We're here to speak today about Manchester United and our upcoming Europa League playoff match against Barcelona. So, right now, without further ado, just give a little background into Barcelona. Barcelona are absolutely flying high in La Liga right now. I think they are at 8 or 11 points ahead of Real Madrid right now. So, they're in very good form right now. Matter of fact, they are unbeaten in their last 5 matches. They've also kept 4 clean sheets in those matches. So just to run through them a little bit, their last five, you go with Barcelona beat Real Sociedad 1-0 in the Copa del Rey quarterfinal, and the rest of the matches are in the Spanish league. So they beat Girona 1-0. They
hmm
beat Real Betis 2-1. They smashed Sevilla 3-0, and they beat Villarreal 1-0. Obviously, and then go through their top scorers right now. Lewandowski is by far their top scorer with 20 goals in all competitions. Uh, Usman Dembele has 7, and then Fati and Ferran Torres are tied with 5 for the remaining goal scorers on that one. Coming into the match right now tomorrow, they will just be missing Dembele and Busquets. So, gentlemen, just based off of that right now, what are your thoughts right now with this Barcelona side we're about to go up against?
Um, it's
So,
still it's still very much dangerous. I mean, although
call
people,
them by their right name. Call them by their right name.
yeah,
Barcelona, right? It's Barcelona because listen, just on a side way, this is why Chelsea had to get the Potter that they got because Barcelona clearly has Harry Potter hiding somewhere in their accounting department because the kind of magic their accountants have been doing to keep them literally out of jail. It is beyond me. The kind of magic they have hoodwinked their players with to the point where you could literally tell a player, we're not paying you your deferred wages, we're not giving you a raise in pay, and we're not letting you leave the club. You gotta sit down and take that. And the man sit down and take that. So boy, they put some kind of Mickey in the Kool-Aid that all those players drinking across there. And I just think, boy, I want us to beat them so bad. I really and truly want us to beat them so bad to let them know that they like to call this Champions League light, just to let them know that they're not even up to scratch in Champions League light. I really don't really have much respect for La Liga. So the fact that they're on a 16-game unbeaten streak, apart from Barcelona, Real Madrid, who I do respect, and the occasional flurry by an Atletico Madrid side when they wake up and decide they want to play football. Nobody in La Liga is that impressive or that running away with anything. And because of Barcelona and Madrid hoarding the lion's share of money in Spain and having really and truly the ability to be the only two clubs to do massive transfers and attract massive names, how can you call that league as competitive as the Premier League? So their 16-game unbeaten streak, I don't see that as any more impressive than the streak we were on until we lost to Arsenal and the fact that we've lost only once since the World Cup. So I'm not going to say I hope it anymore. Now. I really and truly believe that we're going to beat them tomorrow. Really and truly. And for two main reasons. Varane and Casemiro. I ain't even check Rashford yet. Varane and Casemiro. Because if you ever need a blueprint as on how to go to the new camp and win, just ask Varane and Casemiro. They probably lost count of the number of times they've done it over their 10 years in Madrid. My prediction, 2-1 United.
CJ, Zahir seems very confident right now about that. Um, we typically do not play well against Spanish sides in European competitions. Let's be very realistic here. Um, I don't think we've beaten Barcelona in a European competition since 2008, the Champions League semifinal. CJ, how are you feeling about this match coming up?
Honestly, I'm a bit careful on how I say it because it's a very close match personally. I do feel that United and Barca could put on a show for us. Um, it it's tough because you have two teams who right now are in form, and although yes, we want to say La Liga is a very one-sided cup, but we have to be very honest. Spanish opposition, no matter what level, kind of gives us a bit of a problem. I don't know what it is, but aside from that, you can't deny that United have been doing well as well. I mean, we've only lost to Arsenal, who were top of the table. Well, emphasis on were top of the table, and
Yeah.
time we've beaten Arsenal as well. So for me personally, I think we just have to take the game in strides. I think on the day it's going to be tough, but at the same time we cannot get discouraged. We cannot let our Barcelona play their football, but at the same time we cannot get carried away. We cannot lose concentration for at least a bit at once because although they're missing Busquets, we have to remind ourselves that we have to face off against men like Gavi and Pedri, two young talents who have shown that they are up for the challenge no matter what. So for me, we still have to be very careful. We still have to be a bit aware of ourselves and certain mistakes that we normally make at times we cannot make because it's one thing to concede to any team, but to concede to this Barcelona team to get back, it takes a lot of fight and courage. So I feel like this is the perfect test to see where we're at as a team. And if we could pull it off, that means that we have grown so much in the 6 months he's been 6 months going on 7 that he's been in charge. So honestly, I'm very confident about it, but I'm a bit careful because it could go either way. But hopefully United could edge it out, man.
So we are definitely going to be missing quite a few players for this match through injury, illness, or a suspension. And so just to run through that list right now, we're going to be missing Martial, Anthony, Lisandro Martinez, Sabitzer, McTominay, and Ericsson, and also Donny van de Beek. So we are missing quite a few key players in that side. I do think Martinez in the back is going to be a very big loss. However, we are getting a player back by the name of Casemiro.
Amen.
So, and someone who is a proven winner who has experience playing against this team. So that could be something that works out very well in our favor as well too. Danger. Who is it that you are? Well, obviously Lewandowski is by far their danger man. We all know that already. Who else would you be very worrisome about? Because obviously we know they're going to be targeting Marcus Rashford. We know that already.
Listen, it's not about disrespecting Gavi and Pedri. However, as good as the young players are now, I don't think they are yet at the level of the midfield maestros that Barca have had in the past. Right? Yes, I think they have, unless I'm mistaken here, I think Barca has conceded the lowest number of goals in La Liga so far this season. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, somebody could hit me up in the comments. Right?
Mhm.
So defensively, they've been a lot more solid than they was when Piqué couldn't juggle all his on-field and off-field responsibilities.
No, eh?
So things. No, what, sir? I just speaking the truth, sir. The man couldn't juggle all his responsibilities. The man didn't learn from the feet of the master from Central. Right? So, if I really have to worry, I think it's really just Lewandowski, because playing for Poland in big tournaments apart, where he always seems to disappear, Robert Lewandowski is a proven goal scorer at club level. We know this. He has done it time and time again, right? I firmly expect that Shaw is going to fill in at left-sided centre back tomorrow because so help me God, if I see Lizzie Maguire leading the team out, so help me God. Right? It has to be Luke Shaw and Rafael Varane at the back. I think that combination is going to do very well. Rafa Varane is no stranger to Robert Lewandowski. his threats and what we need to look at. And I honestly think that Marcus Rashford in the form he is in now, Jadon Sancho, who clearly, let's give the lad some props. Jadon Sancho is looking like a player reborn. Yes, he had one off the bench and one start. But in those two short games, this is a Jadon Sancho that looks a million miles away from the player that stopped playing for us in October last year. Right? So Ten Hag doing Ten Hag things, getting our guys back on track. Apart from Lewandowski, I really and truly don't think we have anything to worry about, guys.
All right, so so it seems you're very confident in this match. Just as I hate to be devil's advocate or pessimist here right now, but you know what? We're deciding to have a little trivia right now. Do either of you know who were the last players to score for Manchester United at the Camp Nou?
I know.
Paul Scholes.
No, not Paul Scholes. Dwight York and Andy Cole.
Correct. Paul Scholes did score against Barcelona in the semifinal.
Yeah, wasn't he coming?
at Old Trafford.
A screamer, boy.
Yes, it
'Cause-
was.
I was gonna say
Oh,
Paul
I
Scholes.
thought that was the away leg. I honestly thought that was the away leg.
Nah, because Paul Scholes is my favorite United player aside from Rooney, and I remember that goal. That was a screamer, dog.
And good afternoon to President Chad, who's saying Wan-Bissaka on the right for defensive stability, which actually is
Yes.
a good lead into our next segment right now, because I want to go through all of us right now as a collective what we think the starting 11 will be tomorrow.
All right, let me pull it up. I have mine.
So I will have my notepad up here right now, and then we'll start marking down now. So first off, let's start with this. What formation are we playing tomorrow?
4-2-3-1. No, actually, I'm going 4-3-3.
4-3-3.
I'm going 4-3-3.
CJ, what are you thinking?
I wanna do 4-4-2, but 4-3-3. I wanna do 4-4-2 for some reason. I don't know why.
I was actually thinking 4-2-3-1, but it seems as a collective, the 4-3-3 is what everybody's going with.
Nah,
So-
it's not that I do like the 4-3-2-1. It's just that when Ole played it, I kind of get PTSD from it. Like I
The only reason why I thought we would go with the 4-2-3-1 is because that's what we've been playing all season. That's what we know how to play. I'm trying
Devin,
to
if I send you my lineup now,
play
if I
4-3-3.
share it from the app, can you pull it up on the screen?
No, I didn't have that set up for this one today, but don't worry, I will keep track of everybody right now as we say it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why. So are we gonna stick with? Are we doing 4-3-3 for this one?
Yep.
All right, so we'll stick with 4-3-3. Okay. All right, so we'll start off now. Let's choose right now the goalkeeper. I mean, do we really need to spend a lot of time?
No discussion. No discussion.
Fair enough. David De Gea in goal.
The Highlander of goalkeepers at Manchester.
President Chad is saying 4-2-3-1 is our best lineup. I will have to agree with Chad on that, but as a panel, we're saying 4-3-3. All right, so now for a good debate now, who is going in at right back? Dalot or
Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka.
all right, so actually, I thought we had more discussion on that. That was very simple. All right.
Nah,
I
it's
was
just
tempted to say Dalot simply because shocker of shockers, Dembele not playing. Right? But nah, let Spider-Man do Spider-Man things.
All right, so who will be our two center backs now?
Varane and Shaw.
CJ, any debate?
Varane and Harry.
You mad boy. You choosing violence on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's a joke. Honestly, Varane and Shaw, but I wanted to say Varane and Lindelof because Lindelof, I like the passing ability Lindelof gives me, but Shaw does that as well. So it really, and Shaw has more pace as well. So I'm not gonna fight Shaw and Varane. Sorry.
All right, so we're sticking with Varane and Shaw. All right, so now for left back, we all
Well, it could only be Malacia if Shaw is playing left centre back.
Yeah, last year.
Okay. Now for the midfield.
My midfield three: Fred on the left, Bruno on the right, Casemiro in the middle. However you want to stagger them.
Yep. Casemiro.
So you're gonna have Wan-Bissaka and Bruno on one side, Casemiro in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Fred, Bruno, and
Fred,
Casemiro.
Fred with Malacia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or did you want to swap Bruno and Fred?
Nah. Nah.
Interesting. All right. And so now for the front.
Bruno hasn't done too badly off the right in the couple games he played on the right. I mean, always better. Look, we always expect better from Bruno coming through the middle, right? But given how we're gonna have three up front, the three that we're gonna have up front, if they start, we can have Bruno on the right, man.
All right. So now for the front three. CJ, let me hear your pick on this one. So I hear taking a lead on quite a bit of these. Let me hear yours.
Of course, I'm keeping Rashford where he normally does be on the left. There's nothing else I want Rashford to do. I don't care what anyone says. And although people would want to see anything different, I'm gonna put Weghorst in front because of link-up play. And I'll put Sancho to start this game because I personally believe, although people would want Garnacho to start, I want Sancho. Because to me, I think Sancho has gotten some confidence over the time, and it gives him a chance to redeem himself as well. But also, too, I feel if you start Garnacho, it's gonna be a frustrating game. So I think like when you use Garnacho as a super sub. So that's my fun tree.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Nothing to dispute.
Any debate at all with this?
Nothing to dispute. Nothing to dispute. This is why, we say the young blood is growing up, the student is becoming the master. Well done, CJ. Well done.
Thanks.
So the only thing that I would do different with this is the formation. Because I think these will be the 11 that will start, but I still think we will play the 4-2-3-1. I just have a feeling right now because that is what we know. That's what we've been playing best at. And so it will be the same formation. I mean the same players. It's just Bruno and Casemiro would be the two defensive midfielders. Weghorst would be alone up top, and then you would have Bruno as the attacking midfielder. And then throughout the game, into the game, the change that would happen, obviously, you would take off Weghorst for Garnacho and then switch up Rashford to go if they seem to have Rashford figured out from that side.
Yeah. And plus two, they're preparing for Rashford to go to the left, but at the same time, if you're keeping Rashford on the left, you tend to it's a bit unpredictable because there's knowing it and then there's actually stopping it. And if for some reason they find Rashford becoming a problem, and he becomes a problem and he consistently is a problem, and then you tell yourself, all right, so in terms of substitutions, what's going to happen? You then send Garnacho, who's a problem on the left. And then now you have to learn to deal with Rashford in the middle. It creates an unpredictability in terms of the tactics. So that's why I want it like that.
Yeah, so my fear with our lineup, with having Bruno as one of those in the midfield there, we all know how Bruno likes to be with his passes sometimes, very wasteful, trying out different things. If he tries one of those and he goes up and misplaces the ball, he's out of position then. And so he doesn't have anybody behind him backing him up. Where if you play him at the top, where if he does play that ball, he has a confidence in knowing that if he tries or something like that, at least Casemiro and Fred are behind him to help him out as well too.
That's true. That's true. Because in a way, yeah, I love Bruno, but at the same time, he has to be very careful with his passing. He can't just do any and everything. I understand you want to be adventurous. I understand you want to be a bit unpredictable, but at the same time, we have to be very careful with our choices because I don't want him to overthink, of course, because you know how Bruno like to overthink, but I want him to actually like look at the game and see what it is, and that if he wants to take the long cross, he has to make sure it's an accurate long cross. And on top of it too, what I could also say is that with Bruno, if the amount of times he loses possession. We can't lose possession with Barcelona. This isn't just any team. This is Barcelona. So for me, I think he can't be too reserved. But at the same time, the whole trying anything, doing anything, he has to really come good with it. Like he has to come good with it.
President Chad is saying, nice thing with Rashford and Sancho on the pitch is that they can switch sides in the game as well. Could not agree more with that.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to bring up another lineup that I've heard being tossed around for people as well, too.
Mm.
I remember how we used to set up when we play like the Cities and Liverpools with the 5-3-2 with the two wing backs.
Yeah.
Set up for the counterattack. Let them have all the possession, but we can hit them on the counterattack.
Honestly, yeah. I could
So
see
then
that.
you would play three centre backs with Varane, Shaw, and
Dalot.
Varane, Lindelof, and who is at the centre back position.
So what I could actually see happening is pretty much out of our lineup, the only thing that would really change is you would take out Weghorst and you could bring in Dalot.
That is true. That is actually very true.
So you would have, but also with that, it gets a little bit tricky as well because you can have Shaw out there, but then you think Malacia is ready to play that wing back, or would you have to swap out Malacia and Shaw in the back, which would then put Malacia as a center back, as a third center back?
I don't think that's putting him in as a centre back. You have to think of it.
Yes, your net. So you have to take out Malacia then for Lindelof as well too.
You see, whether we're playing with two centre backs or three, they have to be the best two or the best three that we could put on the pitch because I think Robert Lewandowski has earned that level of respect from opponents.
So you will have to. So in that case, you would have to put pretty much Shaw and Lindelof on either side of Varane.
Correct.
You have Wan-Bissaka and Shaw and Wan-Bissaka and you bring in Dalot. So thinking about this now, you would go Wan-Bissaka, Dalot, Varane. Who would be the next center back then? Would you put in Shaw?
If you're gonna ask Wan-Bissaka and Shaw to be the wing backs, then you gotta probably play Lindelof.
So then, who would be the center back to the left of Varane?
Yeah.
I can't say the name, and it's not an option, right? That's not her
In other words,
name.
yeah. So what I could see is you would have Wan-Bissaka, Dalot, Varane, Lindelof, Shaw.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then obviously in the midfield you would put this is where it gets tricky. Now, do you stick Bruno or Casemiro in the middle of it?
But if you really want to do that, then you gotta go and hire Southgate to manage the side tomorrow. That's the master. But then if you do that, the first name on the team sheet would be you know who.
For me,
imagine a front two of Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford, if that's a possibility.
that wouldn't be bad at all, actually. But I would put I feel like I would put Casemiro in the middle because Casemiro shows that he also could create, but he also could block.
And so if you do this, now you have them set up, they have their possession. But if they lose that ball, we are set up for that counterattack, long balls, and just send them to coming out. And then when one of them gets tired legs, you bring on Garnacho.
Exactly.
So that was another possibility that I heard as well too. Do you being realistic right now, out of the three lineups that we suggested, the formations, what do you really think will be played tomorrow?
What's this, sorry?
So we discussed a 4-3-3, we discussed a 4-2-3-1, and we also discussed a 5-3-2.
Which I think I said
realistically played tomorrow.
4-2-3-1.
Really 4-3-2-1. Eric not gonna change it up. But if not that, I feel for some weird reason, I don't know what it is with Eric. And for some weird reason, for big games, he's changed up something for certainly. Like for example, with the City game, he did the same 5-3-5-3 thing. And I can't remember what it was. And he did that, and it worked because if you think about it, if you keep Pedri and Gavi out of the game realistically, it's a tough game for Barcelona. You know? Like if we win the midfield battle, it becomes a problem for those youths. And if you get Barcelona frustrated at the camp now, I think you would do something crazy. So it can either be those two. I feel the 4-3-2-1, I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up with it as well.
All right. And so now for final question now before we go. Score predictions right now, CJ.
Hopefully, 1-1.
So you're going for a draw?
Yeah, I feel it'll be a draw. I feel at the camp now, it's gonna be like a stalemate, and I feel depending on the result like that, United at home is a United that is hungry. So yeah.
Zahir?
2-1. Rashford to score first, Lewandowski to equalize, and Sancho with the winner.
I have to tend to agree with CJ on this one. We do not play well against Spanish sides. I do believe that Rashford's form right now is just unstoppable. He's playing absolutely phenomenal. He's one of the best strikers in Europe right now, in my opinion. However, missing Martinez for this match is going to be a very big blow for us. This match will be won and lost in the midfield. That I 100% believe, and I could see this being. There's not going to be lots of goals in this match. I believe that right now. With that being said, I could see a 1-1 draw as well too. I just do not see us. I do not see us on this one.
Have faith in Fred and Nero.
Well, like I said, I think Lewandowski will probably score in this match, but he'll only get one, I think.
Yeah,
and I think Rashford is going to get one as well too, and we're going to finally score another goal at the Camp Nou. So
we might see the little. Do you think celebration? By the way, he actually looking to trademark it.
That's not surprising.
Before we leave, we really need to do what the president is asking us to do with his latest comment there.
You know, I was not ready to do this yet, but it seems that I have been I've been overruled on this one. So he's at the president to laugh at Arsenal right now. They lost today to Manchester City, and so they now are in second place with a game in hand on Manchester City. But they are in second place right now. Manchester City and Arsenal tied right now. However, Manchester City has a superior goal differential.
CJ, you stink. CJ, you stink.
Jeez.
I'm not saying no more. I'm not gonna say no more.
I have Arsenal the latest rally call. Timber.
I know President Chad has been waiting all season to say that it's like the elephant in the tree. You don't know how it got up there, but you know it will come down. So I see typing up. I could picture President Chad typing it up right now. I said they were coming down. You see what I mean? But my take is still the same. There's still lots of season to play. You don't know what can happen. However, City is known for being a second season club. But when they start hitting like we used to do back in the day. So lots of season to go. But once again, I don't want to focus on the other clubs. I want to focus on United. So, and don't forget for everybody watching, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. This Eric Cantona sign poster behind could be yours if we get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on today. And remember, we keep the red flag flying high because Man United will never die.
Hey, if you appreciate what we're doing here at the United Hour, please like, please subscribe, and let's grow this community.